A Giants podcast for Giants fans
by Giants fans.
From the offseason through the wins and the losses, it's time to take one Giant step.
Welcome into One Giant Step, one of the favorite episodes every year. We have a schedule. I'm Shaun Morash. He's Bryce Gelman. And away we go. The NFL schedule, as is typical, gets leaked. We work on things. I had a leaked version that had a couple minor tweaks to it. Thankfully, I was semi off the grid with my kids, and I didn't leak that out. I would have got crushed for that. I was dead wrong on something I was told during the season about the Giants playing in Germany. That's going to get pushed back. It looks like possibly 2 seasons. But look, you got to eat some leaks when they don't work out, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to hear breakdown, though, the actual schedule. Classic Mike Francesa win-loss stuff. Who knows? But we'll just see where the next couple minutes take us, and we'll have some fun. Bryce, first of all, further promotion. The Knicks are in the Eastern Conference Finals. I want to remind everybody to download and subscribe to Knicks for Clicks. That's Bryce's other venture. While I'm not a Knicks fan, I'm a Nets fan. Bryce Gelman is as diehard a Knicks fan as I know, and I don't want to hear it. And it's Knicks for Clicks, where don't give me that if I'm giving you the pub. Otherwise, don't download and subscribe if it keeps up the antics as we get plenty of Eastern Conference Finals.
There's no Nets fans. Like, no one's offended by that besides you and
you guys keep,
that I know.
This is not the place for us. You guys keep saying that as if the Nets don't sell out and haven't built an entire fan base. Okay.
Yeah,
there's no Devil and Islander fans, I guess, either, huh?
Happy belated birthday, Sean. I didn't know that your birthday was the same day as Jackson Dart's birthday.
Yeah, Dennis Rodman, Morgan Wallen, Jackson Dart, Shaun Morash.
Those other 2 names don't matter. It's Jackson Dart and Shaun Morash.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Man. If you want me to feel old, Bryce, I was celebrating my 16th birthday when Jackson Dart was born. So I could drive a car that day, and Jackson Dart was born.
Yeah.
So, and now he's the quarterback of my favorite team.
Well, it was a permit, right?
Learner's permit.
Okay.
Learner's permit. But nonetheless, ignition, steering wheel, the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, Bryce, I'm going to do this. I'm just going to read the schedule because I can't assume that everybody's just clicked on Twitter because you never know. Like, some people might just download and subscribe to One Giant Step, which we love. And I have notes, no joke, on every single one of these games and what it means, the opponents. I've looked into the opponent schedules, all that stuff. I really get juicy into this. We'll kind of do like an overview, underview, and maybe close this with kind of our expectations now, as of now, knowing what the roster is. Does that sound like a plan to you, buddy?
Absolutely.
All right. After I read the schedule, you know what? How about just follow along? What am I? I'm producing this on the fly here. Let's just have some.
What do you mean? I mean, you're producing it. I'm fine. Okay, I'll do whatever you want to do.
Well, hold on. I didn't mean that as a knock. I meant I'm not even going to explain what I'm going to do. We're going to follow the lead. All right. So here's the deal. Giants, first 2 games, prime time. We don't get a Sunday afternoon game until week 3. So we're opening up Sunday Night Football versus the Dallas Cowboys for only the second time in 7 years. How's that for a glass half empty? Everybody tries to act like this is every year. It used to be every year. It has really not been the case for the better part of a decade now, but you do get that Giant Cowboy inventory back Sunday Night Football to start the year. Week 2, Giants are on a Monday night playing the Rams. More thoughts on that in a little bit. There was a report out there that whether it was John Mara or the Giants themselves, because of and Bryce should be able to better speak to this, I guess, the heavy Jewish presence inside the New York City area that a Giant fans. Well, you're Jewish. I'm not. I'm not meaning that it's offensive. The holidays, Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur fall on each of those days. And from what I gather, in the most religious of circumstances, you cannot turn on the television to watch the game.
Yom Kippur. Rosh Hashanah. I mean, I don't know anyone who really follows that serious. Look, but Yom Kippur is like you go to temple. You're not supposed to do anything with technology. I just don't eat. I'll wait until 6 o'clock. Then
this is not a religious podcast, and I am not out to offend everybody. But this was the report out there that he had requested this, and the Giants, I guess, maybe this is by luck, or maybe this is by the NFL going, well, you're kind of relevant against, we'll let you do this. So those fans that would not otherwise be able to watch during the afternoon get a break those first 2 games. So, but Sunday afternoon, week 3, they get Tennessee at 1. Then it's the Cardinals, week 4. That's to start October, 1 o'clock. Then we get into 1 o'clock, Washington on the road. 1 o'clock, the Saints at home. So if you're logging at 4 of the first 6 games at home, remember the Giants have 9 home games this year. Then to end October, the Giants go on the road versus the Houston Texans. That's October 25th. The weekend that is Halloween falls on a Saturday, is the Giants bye week. So the Giants bye week is Halloween weekend. The following week, they are at Philadelphia, 1 o'clock. That's their first game in November. That's November 8th. Then on a short week after playing at Philly, they will host Washington on a Thursday night game, November 12th. They will then go to home Jacksonville after that Thursday night game. So a little extended bye, so to speak, 2 weeks after their actual bye to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. The following November Sunday, the 29th, I believe that is Thanksgiving weekend. The Giants are scheduled to play 1 o'clock Indy. And remember, the Thanksgiving weekend, they've added a Thanksgiving Eve game.
Thanksgiving
itself.
It's too much.
It is too much. I'll be honest with you.
3 Christmas Day games. Are we serious? We've lost cabin pressure.
I love that line. I'm with you, but it's a fight I can't fight anymore. That being the reason I'm saying this is Thanksgiving gets frozen. There's only so much inventory of games. There's a game on a Wednesday. There's a game on a Friday. There's a game on a Monday, and there's 3 games on Thanksgiving. Do the math. That leaves like 8 or 9 games total for Sunday. Those games are locked in. That game will not be flexed. It's a 1 o'clock game in Indy. So if you're looking to travel in Indy, you know that game is going to be 1 o'clock November 29th. Home to start December, 49ers. More thoughts on that later. Remember, that was a complete invasion. Like the Knicks fans taking over Philly, that's what the Niner fans did at MetLife last year. Home, December 6th, Niners.
Not as much. I mean,
well, Bryce, if we want to do the math, there was actually way more Niner fans at MetLife that day than there were Knicks fans in Philadelphia.
Yeah, proportionally.
I think I'm a Giant fan. I don't want to own that, but we have to own that. That was a takeover unlike Dallas or Phillies ever pulled off. How quickly we forget. Then the Giants will go to Seattle. And this is important to note. It is December 13th. Barring flexes, which are always possible, especially if the Giants are good. This will be the first time the Giants play a game at 4:25 Eastern. Will be December 13th in Seattle. It's either prime time or 1 o'clock.
And the only time.
I wasn't even to that point, but yes, the only time. Then December 20th, as we start kind of Christmas week, so to speak, the Giants are home versus the Cleveland Browns. They will then go on back-to-back road games. So Christmas weekend, Christmas falls on a Friday. Bryce was talking about those 3 games. If you are somebody that travels for that holiday, guess what? You don't got to be back home to watch the New York Giants until Monday night, December 28th. They are the Monday night game, Christmas week. You're going to feel like you've watched 50 football games by the time the Giants play Christmas week. They are Monday night in Detroit. Then they will close with 2 divisional games, the way God intended. January 30th at the Dallas Cowboys. Again, 1 o'clock. Could that be flexed to later with Dallas in the mix? Always. And then that final weekend where everything is TBD, depending on necessity. And I think there's like a 3rd Saturday window that day with Netflix involved, whatever. They will close the season at home versus the Philadelphia Eagles. So, Bryce, as I mentioned, I have little kind of nuggets for each of these games. When you read this schedule, what stands out to you the most?
You've got the 2 hard games to start, and then you have a bunch of winnable games. You've got the Titans, the Cardinals, the Commanders, the Saints, and the Texans are obviously a tough team. There are a lot of questions on offense there. But, Shaun, you have 2 tough tests to start the season, and then you have all these, I'm not going to say irrelevant games, but you have 2 primetime games, and then you have 5 straight 1 p.m. games. So, I mean, like, you're in the spotlight to start the season. I think the NFL understands the hype behind John Harbaugh and the Giants now potentially being relevant. But I think that the reason why they're getting 2 of these primetime games out of the way is because there's still so much uncertainty surrounding the organization. Because, like, through 2 games, you could be like, all right, same old Giants. Or through 2 games, you could be like, okay. And then we could look down the line like, oh, that Lions game on Monday Night Football, that looks pretty good. So I think that they kind of built that in on the back end to, kind of hedge their bets if the Giants do suck. Of course, you got the Commanders throwaway Thursday Night Football game. This year, they have 1 more primetime game than last year. I that's not saying a lot, but the Giants are, obviously more relevant. John Harbaugh in the news. And Shaun, here's my thing about all this. You remember the last time the Giants faced off against the Cowboys? In a primetime game?
Oh, in a primetime game. I thought you meant the last week of the season.
No.
There was a couple 2023 where it was a completely different head coach and quarterback. So
I know. I'm just saying I saw that and got a little PTSD.
How about when they had a real coach and a real quarterback when they used to kick Dallas's ass on Sunday nights all the time? How about that?
Yeah, where did these Dallas fans get off? Like somehow they're still talking down on Giants fans. Like how many times are we going to be through this? This is a completely different story for another day. But the Giants starting off against the Cowboys is a great opportunity to make a statement. How many times have these Cowboys fans, these delusional ass fans, said, "Oh, look how good we are. We're so much better than you guys."
Right?
There's no better opportunity to start the season on a good note. Shaun, the last time the Giants started the season on a good note was in 2022 against the Titans. It has been a very long time since they set the tone.
And I remember 2016 starting on a good note versus the Dallas Cowboys, if you remember that.
They need it. Like,
by the way, each of those years, playoff years. Now, what I'm quickly trying to do on the fly here, Bryce, as you speak, is remember when you brought up the prime time, them having one more primetime game. They played a Sunday night game last year, week 3 versus the Chiefs. It was the last game before Jackson Dart era began. And so similar to this, they're playing week 1, right? They're getting their Sunday night fix in September. That's NBC making sure they get the New York market while the New York market's still relevant.
Yep.
Last year, trying to think of the other primetime games because they're going to get 2 Monday nights and a Thursday night. They played Thursday night Philly. They won.
Yeah.
What was the third primetime game that I'm missing? Oh, New England.
It was Patriots.
They got there. That was the worst game of the year, the Monday night game.
Yeah.
All right.
The Young Wei Koo kick.
So they're back to having a December Monday night game, but this one is in Detroit. So the extra would be like week 2. We're starting the year with a Monday night in week 2. Now, as I do this quick glance, I'm trying to figure out, can the Giants, if they're good, play any more primetime games? Are there windows to be flexed? So if I'm looking beyond week 8 of the NFL, where everybody should be relevant, Sunday night strong schedule. I don't love week 2. I'm sorry. What is this? Sunday, September 20th, week 2. They're playing the Colts and Chiefs. That's a terrible game, but that obviously won't be flexed. Lions, Panthers is a Sunday night game. Gross. All right, so here's where I get to. After week 8, week 9, Bucks, Bears. I'm guessing they want the Bears in there. Are we 1,000% sure the Bucks are relevant? That would be Sunday, November 8th. The Giants play the Eagles at 1 o'clock. Okay. Probably too early for flexing to take out the Chicago market, but worth noting. Week 10 is Sunday, November 15th. That is the Giants.
No, weekend they're facing the Commanders. Thursday.
Okay, that's a Thursday night, so they cannot be flexing. That's a terrible game because I think the Steelers are going to stink. It's Steelers-Bengals. The following week, they will not flex. That's Mexico City. That's week 11. Week 12 is the Chargers and Pats. Have a hard time thinking that's out. You get a week 13 Texans-Steelers. Is that going to be sexy? That is December 6th. That's Giants-49ers.
That's good game.
If the Giants are relevant, because after that, you got Bills-Packers. Lions-Vikings is dicey on December 20th, but it's Giants-Browns, so no shot. And they're never bowing out of a Dallas game. That's week 16 versus the Jags. So if you're looking for flexing and saying, is there any other time the Giants can move to prime time? I'm going to tell you right now, if you have tickets to Giants-49ers December 6th, Texans-Steelers is vulnerable. I would call that a vulnerable Sunday night game. Would you agree, Bryce? That's probably your next other opportunity for a Giant primetime game.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's going to be a barn burner. That screams 10-6 game.
Yeah.
13-6.
So we'll see. But outside of that, I think, you're pretty steadfast. Now, you might get some 425 flexes, like if the Fox or CBS doesn't love it. But other than that, I think, you get a lot of 1 o'clocks here and you get in the 4 prime times. Now, Bryce, I'm going to cook a little bit here, all right? Let's Shawnee cook, as they like to say.
You've been cooking this entire podcast.
All right. As you can tell, I love the schedule. So bounce off me and let's go through this. Now, Bryce, when you stare at this schedule, without specifically going, I think this is a win, this is a loss. What record screams out to you knowing this roster, this head coach, and this schedule?
What do you mean in terms of specific teams or what?
No,
what
just
I think
the
Giants could do?
What do you think the Giants' record is? Your first, and by the way, you're going to make 40 predictions before the season starts. Yeah. Your schedule night reaction record.
They should start 4-2.
What's your end of the seseason schedule?
Oh, end of the season. Oh, we're doing like full record.
Yeah, I don't want you playing win-loss. Just look at the schedule and give me the number.
9-8.
9-8.
I think 9-8. I think that's realistic. They have an opportunity to win 10, 11 games. I'm not going there. I'm not that stupid.
This
is still the Giants until proven otherwise. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they're going to win double-digit games. I mean, am I insane?
Yeah.
What about you? What do you think?
I'm shooting low right now. I'm still going. This is like a 6-11 team right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
I do think we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. I don't love the first 2 games at all. Like, I think we could, eat some syrup. But, like, again, you're going to get me revved up. I'd rather start lower, too, to be honest with you, and build my way up as the anticipation starts. But here's what I got. There's nothing you could talk about week 1 with the Cowboys other than the fact that the Cowboys would be raring to go. Obviously, they don't like the way the season ended, but the Giants should be, too. But when we get to week 2, I hate the idea that the Giants immediately, especially if they lose a game, have to go on the road to the Rams on a Monday night. It's my least favorite game on the schedule. But here's my note on this. The Rams will be playing their first game with no bye week. Granted, extended time off the first ever NFL game in Australia. Yep. We have no idea what that does to the bodies. Do I think the Rams are ultimately be fine in this game and raring to go? Yeah, of course. But remember, that Ram-Seahawk game is going to be played Thursday night, our time, Friday morning in their body clocks in Australia.
They have 11 days off.
They have, but think about it. They're playing in their minds on a Friday morning and then playing the following Monday night. They do have time off, but it's Australia. Like, we don't know if that's going to mess these guys up. All right, that's number one. We get to the Titan game. And I saw the Titans were playing the Jets week 1, and I thought to myself, man, are the Titans going to be like on a roll and feeling super confident, and maybe that the Giants not so confident? But week 3 Titans, they are playing the Philadelphia Eagles in week 2. Maybe they get, a little humble pie there. They eat it. Week 4, Arizona. This Arizona Cardinals might have the hardest schedule in the NFL.
They're going to be the worst team in the league.
I don't know how they're not 0-3. I don't know how they're not 0-3 going in this game. They're playing the Chargers. Yeah. I think the Seahawks and the Rams. I have to double check that. Or San Fran, 0-3 off 2 division games. I mean, that's the game the Giants got to have. So, like you said, Giants got to be 2-2 out of these 4 games. And really, if we wanted to get greedy, 3-1 if you like their chances versus Dallas. But they got to be 2-2. Anything other than 2-2, it's a demoralizing season. Now, beyond that, Washington week 5. Washington's schedule is also brutal. Okay, their first 3 games are at Philly, at Dallas, home Seattle. They're not home till week 3 playing the Super Bowl champs. Then their week 4 game is the Indianapolis Colts, who are like a wild card to the whole NFL schedule. They might finally feel themselves a little confidence off beating Indy, maybe. But there's also a chance Washington is like 0-4 going into this game.
The first 3 out of the first 4 games are against divisional foes.
Yeah,
that's tough. You don't want to do that.
Washington is getting what Washington's schedule feels like to me? What the Giants usually get handed to them. You're like, are you serious?
Yes.
You can't get our legs under it?
Yes.
And we know how that ends the other way. Week 6, Saints. I got nothing noteworthy. Again, Saints are a very big wide. They could win the South. They could finish in last. I don't know what to make of that game. Giants should win the game.
That's a terrible division anyway, so who cares?
Week 7, Texans. Now, we all understand that the Houston Texans defense was awesome last year. CJ Stroud, we have no idea what the hell. Is he going to refine himself or does he stink? They do, though, play that week before. Well, the Giants are playing the Saints. The Texans are playing at the Jaguars in a huge divisional game for them. Both the Giants and Texans then buckle up for their buys after. So
that game against the Jags at Wembley in London.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yep.
Okay. So you're telling me they're coming from London?
Yep.
Okay. Good call. In London. Divisional game. Good. Okay. So that's nice. That maybe bump me up to a 7-win team here for the Giants. Giants bye week then. All right. Week 9. The Giants come off a bye playing at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Wait, let me just say this. Yeah. I like the week 8 bye. I do too. Good call. I'm a huge proponent of 8, 9, or 10. I think anything earlier or later sucks. Like later, then you're dealing with like a
last year sucked. December was like
games, and then we got the break week 12, week 13. If it happens, week 4 is brutal. You've got 13 straight weeks of no rest.
Terrible.
So I think the Giants lucked out with the bye week 8.
Okay, so off the bye, I think this is the most interesting note on the Giants schedule. Remember, the Giants, well-rested, Harbaugh team off the bye, now have to go to Philly for their first Eagle game of the year. The Eagles, on the contrary, 3rd straight game versus the division. They play Washington and Dallas back-to-back weeks before that Giant game where the Giants are coming off the bye. Giants did beat Philly last year, albeit not in Philly. If the Giants are ever to go back into Philly and win a football game again, off a bye while Philly plays their 3rd straight division game, Bryce.
I know.
I mean,
I know.
So before everybody checks that off as a loss.
I know.
Okay. Week 10, short. This is where that comes back on the Giants. Short week versus Washington and playing at Philly the week before. That sucks. And that is where Washington could feel themselves again. Washington, though, is coming off at Philly versus the Rams. So tough for them as well. Washington's schedule is unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Okay. Then the Giants, as we mentioned, that Jaguar game. The Jags are coming off at Baltimore, at Tennessee. 2 straight road games before the Giants play the Jaguars. And that's like after their bye and after the London stuff. Then the Giants come or go to Indy in week 12, like we said. You know what Indy's doing the week before? They're at Houston. Could be a body bag situation for Daniel Jones and the Colts versus that Texan defense, only to play the Giants the next week. I mentioned that Niner game. Here's what I like about the Niner game. The Niners play home Seattle the week before, home Rams after, traveling to New York in between. That screams trap spot for the Niners. The Giants in the middle of their two big division opponents, if they're battling it out, and then they got to fly across the country. Vulnerable Niner spot. And also the Niners healthy? They're never healthy. All right.
That's a good point. Substation.
Week 14. This is where everybody goes, oh my God, bloodbath. Giants going to Seattle. How about this? Seattle playing Monday night the week before versus Dallas at home. Short week for Seattle. Week 15, Cleveland. We talked about.
Win.
Are they tanking? Do I need to say more? Then this is where we murderer's row, as people like to call it. At Detroit, at Dallas versus Philly, like we talked about. Number one, let me just say this about, because I'm going to ignore Cleveland and go Niners, Seattle, the Browns, at Detroit, at Dallas, at Philly. If you took those in a lump sum, Bryce, lump sum games to end the season, people go, man, Giants might get off to a good start, but that is brutal down the stretch. But I will tell you this, and I think you would back me up, and I think all of our listeners and subscribers would back us up on this. This is why you want the schedule to lighten up earlier. That's why you like having Tennessee and Arizona the first week to stash wins in the pocket, because it is likelier than not when you come out of September. Now, everybody could have a bad training camp injury. Those teams are at their healthiest. Everybody goes, well, at the beginning of the year, the football is clunkier. That's true, but the teams are usually healthier. Detroit last year fell off a cliff. They were very vulnerable to the point the Giants almost beat them in November. What do they look like in December? What is Dallas? Is Philly playing for anything last week? I don't know. Dallas probably is playing for some, but who knows? What if Dallas is a bad year like last year? Like, all of those games could become winnable the way the schedule goes, and I'd rather wait and see on what those games are going to be than have to play all those games front-loaded where it just kills your year. Yeah. So I'm okay with that.
Well, sure, it's not even just that. It's like getting out to a good start is so much more important than midway through the season. Be like, shit, we've got 3 less games won than we expected to win at this point. We've got an easier part of the schedule. They're not going to perform well if their backs are against the wall. A young team, an upstart team who just hired a new head coach, get off to the good start, and then you figure it out as you go. And with the injury stuff too.
And Bryce, this is the opposite of what we've been dealing with. Usually we have the light games at the end. We're going, oh, can they lose these games? Yeah. At least we can enjoy the lighter opponents outside of Cleveland early in the year, and we're not worried about tanks.
Positive, dude. It's a very good schedule. It's a very good schedule. I mean, like, I think what we've been talking about on this podcast, this is like kind of backs all that up. Or what we've been saying backs up us saying that it's a good schedule.
I love your note on Houston with the London game the week before. I'm going to give the Giants one more win there. I'm going to say they're a 7-win team right. But I hope for the best.
Bryce, are we doing the win-loss, or what are we going to do? We're going to do that next time?
Well, next time we're going to do our favorite road trip.
The favorite road trips.
Yeah, Bryce
is screwed up. We screwed up. I texted you about this. We were going to predict the schedule. That was disappointing. Too bad we had to focus on DJ Reader signing. So
okay. So spoiler alert for everybody. We had a great pod. I heard it did great numbers on YouTube, on the FAN. I got on the DJ Reader stuff. But here's what happened. Bryce. So I full disclosure, if you haven't heard me on WFAN, I had a quick 2-day getaway. Like 2 months ago, my wife I have no problem admitting this, like in a pretty good flash deal on going to like one of these indoor water parks that the kids love. And it was something that my kids had asked for, that my mother-in-law actually like prepaid for Christmas. Like, hey, let me know what it costs. I want to get the kids this for Christmas. So my wife came to me and said, hey, this week in May, I can get a pretty good deal. My mom's paying for it for the kids' Christmas present. Are you able to take off of work? I looked at the schedule. I went like this, Bryce. Okay. I flipped over. And then if you can't see, I'm licking my finger. I said, well, the Subway Series is this weekend. I got to be back at work by Friday to preview the Subway Series. Okay. I forgot about the NFL schedule, but I looked up at the standings and I said, well, I certainly don't have any Nets or Rangers playoff games that are going to be at WFAN. So they could get by for 2 days in Knicks without me. By the way, I didn't even need that because the Knicks had won. So I went away. But I say that to say Bryce texted me today while I'm finishing up my little trip. This is schedule release day. Oh, man, we forgot to do the preview of the schedule episode. And then his second text after that, and I can't tell what times these came in.
I can tell you right now.
Yeah, brutal DJ Reader news or something. How did you word it?
That DJ Reader news, SMH.
Okay. 11:39 a.m.
DJ Reader news.
We kind of forgot to do a pod predicting the schedule. I don't see a time. I have no idea what the space is between this. That DJ Reader news shaking my head. Bryce, I read this.
It was at the same minute. I tweeted. I texted those back to back.
Do you know what I did? As the father of two, as we were trying to get dried off and change these kids into clothes to get them in the car to head back home. You know what I did? I went right to Twitter and started searching DJ Reader's name to find out if he got arrested, to find out if he tore an Achilles. And then
you didn't read my text through. It went in one ear and out the other.
So then I would say 3 to 4 minutes of realizing I don't see anybody tweeting about DJ Reader. That I went back and I looked at the text and I put both texts together and I said, he means we did the DJ Reader news and that's why we didn't do a schedule preview.
Yes. There you go.
Who says that DJ Reader news? Shaking my head. Shaking your head at what? We got good news. They signed DJ Reader.
And we did good numbers too.
Yeah.
But we could have done you could have done one in the middle.
Yeah, we could have. Could have, would have, should have. Didn't. But we still did this reaction to the night of the schedule coming out. You got a one giant step. And next week, I'm going to take more time and I'm going to count down your best road trips and tell you based on week, based on what you should do, go book your flights. Knicks for clicks. Download, subscribe. Bryce Gelman's got you covered with Rami Lavi, my buddy there from FAN. At Bryce Gelman, Twitter, X. At Shaun Morash, Twitter, X. At Morash Radio, Instagram. Bryce is some kind of TikTok shenanigans going on.
I do everything. At Bryce Gelman everywhere.
At Bryce Gelman everywhere. All right. Nice. Enjoy the schedule news. Let's go Big Blue. Thanks for taking one giant step with us.
Go Knicks.